And it's kind of exciting, but not as exciting, I feel like, as a normal Apple product introduction.
Well, we already knew about this, right? I mean, back in September.
Every single thing. I just saw the Wall Street Journal flash it's going to cost between $349 and $10,000. Well, tell me something I didn't.
You didn't know 10,000.
10,000 was on the high end of the estimates. But
highest estimate.
But there is
Check out
Dubai.
my tweet stream from this morning, please.
Okay.
Okay.
You were on point with that?
Yeah, I knew it was going to. We were talking about 10,000 at Bloomberg story, and Alix said even if it uses almost $31 worth of gold,
right,
that's still going to be the price.
Because there are professional athletes. And there are Europeans.
Chinese.
Yeah, all around.
Yeah, more to the point, the Chinese consumer. I mean, they are a huge consumer.
Now, I tweeted your gold fact this morning. I'm stunned by...
Which one was that?
right? I heard you tell Betty that only $31 worth of 18-karat gold will go into the watch.
No, well, no, the 1 gram is worth $31.
Oh, I see.
So it depends on how many grams they use. So if they use, say, 30 grams, which is I've been hearing a little bit about,
$1,000.
It'll be about $1,000.
But it's special
on rough math. But it is special gold. It's
gold.
because it's actually supposed to be thicker. It's supposed to be better than the standard gold,
stronger, harder,
so
not that usual crap gold.
So it doesn't
get
all busted like my rings do when I hit them against something. So,
right.
But either way, if you're looking at the 33 tons, if you produce, say, 1 million a month, I mean, that's not that much gold in the scheme of things.
All right, so, but $10,000, it's unlikely that someone's going to really, isn't it, Sam?
I mean, it's a big status purchase there, and I'm sure they're only expecting a few people to actually go out and pay for that. What's amazing to me is that we have a product now that has a range of prices from $350 to 10 grand. I can't think of another product that costs so differently, you know, has such a wide range of MSRP.
And
it's, well, non-drugs, right?
And when I was sort of scouring the gold world about, hey, is this going to really move the gold market, Frank Combs of U.S. Global Investors said, you know, no, it's not going to hurt the supply factor or demand factor, but it is sort of a big deal in that it validates gold as a luxury symbol. If you go around with it, it says something. I mean, it's a watch. You might have to replace a watch in a few years, right?
It's a great graphic sort of explaining. So they have a gram at 42 in this graphic. But 18 karat, I see, because you were saying it's about 70%,
18 karat is about 75%
24%.
gold. And China, I should point out, is actually eating up 18 karat gold items like crazy, especially among younger people. And China and India are responsible for the bulk of most gold buying in the world. So it's really, will this appeal to them at the end of the day?
To get back to your point, Matt, I watched the proceedings, and I felt similarly that, you know, everything they were introducing, in terms of the features of the watch and the third-party apps, all very expected. And all things that you could probably do with your phone. Nothing very watch-specific here. So it still remains to be a question as to whether or not this is going to move in huge numbers like the phone and the iPad did, or will it be something else?
Who do you think the market is? Is this people that would spend more money for a better jawbone? Is it people that would want to buy a Sunto watch, you know, that tells you all of these special details?
I don't think that anybody that Apple is trying to reach has been thinking about other smartwatches, or for that matter, even other fitness bands. Maybe a little bit of crossover with the Jawbones and the Fitbits of the world. But this is a much more mainstream audience, right? And so they don't know about Android Wear. They don't know about Sunto. They're going to see this, and as far as they're concerned, this is the first smartwatch that they know about.
Part of my question, though, is what does this do to some kind of replacement cycle? I mean, we've seen the iPad really struggle because people tend to not want to upgrade their iPad when they run out of memory, when they run out of their OS.
Nobody's going to want to spend $350 every 2 years or more.
But you do with your iPhone and you do with your MacBook. So
because there's an economic
with
infrastructure with your phone and your carrier, right, that encourages you to upgrade, subsidizes the cost of that. That's not happening here with the watch. So to your point, yeah, it's a little bit.
Well, and the beauty of a watch is that it's one of the few things that you can buy, and you know you're going to hold on to it pretty much forever. I mean, longer than a car, maybe even longer than a house.
And yet, Patek Philippe doesn't come out every year with a new watch that says this one is so much better than the previous Portuguese repeater timer that you had, because now it has a flyback mechanism that nobody had before. Those watches tend to last longer because there isn't that much evolution. Presumably, there are going to be new Apple Watches, if not every year, every couple of years, and people might start to wonder, oh, wait, mine can't do all the new things that the new one can do.
Right. And so do you have an upgrade cycle, or do you have people not buying it at all because they don't want to be forced into spending multiple hundreds of dollars every year?
That's the big question.
Well, it leads to an interesting debate. You know, Paul Kodosky and I were talking about whether or not Rolex or IWC will now add digital features to their...
to compete with that.
Time-honored...
Or will they somehow move into some sort of third-party supplier arrangement and provide bands? You know, Hermes could do that, Vuitton could do that. They could become suppliers, sort of Apple Watch-ready players.